For a change, a section with comparatively little climbing. The North Downs Way stays with or near the Pilgrim's Way all the way to Boughton Lees. Much of this section is shared with the European Long Distance Trail E2, National Cycle Route NCR 17 and the Pilgrim Cycle Trail, and their logos jostle for space with those of the North Downs Way. Lenham Memorial Cross was constructed in 1922 and paid for by villagers in memory of 42 local people killed during the First World War, whose names were inscribed on a war memorial here. During the Second World War, the 200-foot, 61-metre tall cross had to be grassed over to avoid providing a navigational aid for enemy aircraft, and afterwards another 14 names had to be added. An annual memorial service used to be held here, but the long climb proved too much, so it now takes place at St Mary's Church, and the war memorial has been moved to the village.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to another video. I hope you're keeping well and welcome back to the North Downs Way. I'm joined by Luke from the Real Travelling Amigos. Check out his channel, and this is part 9 of the North Downs Way, and it is Lenham to Y. It's 11.1 miles in length, so we're hoping to do a little wild camp along the route, hopefully at the supposedly haunted ruins of St Mary's Church at Eastwell. Could be a bit of a stealth camp, so we're going with low profile shelters. I've even got some camouflage skrim netting with me just in case. Not sure about rain yet, if we're forecast any rain. Luke has got his OEX expedition tarp with him, so if need be we can stick both our bivvies under that. I've got my Rab Ridge Raider hoop bivvy with me. Luke is chief navigator again today. Yeah, that's about all there is to say. So enough talking, let's get walking.
Lenham Chalk Cliffs have been designated as a site of special scientific interest due to the geological structures that were uncovered during its time as a chalk mine, which closed in the early 20th century. On Westwell Downs is the title of a poem by William Strode, 1600 to 1643, a Devonian who married the daughter of the prebendary of Canterbury and thus became familiar with these parts. In the poem he extols the peace and beauty of the hilly crests in days when they were speckled with sheep and bushes, and the most intrusive sound was that of a sheep bell rather than the hum of the M20.
Welcome back everyone. It's about 7 PM and we're making good progress. It's been actually quite easy going. My feet are hurting a little bit, but I feel fine really. Pack's riding well. It's been a very easy section. Anyways, we have arrived at Dunn Street Farm campsite. Now, I'd checked this out online because I thought we could do a campsite camp on this section and it'd be really nice, relaxing and stuff like that. We could make use of like the showers, the toilets, washing facilities, but then of course the C word happened. Not that C word, another C word, the one that everyone's talking about at the moment, which we won't talk about because we're here to escape all of that madness. So the campsite is open, but the toilet facilities, the wash facilities, the shower facilities are not. Now, I checked it out and they want, get this, £40 per person for 2 nights with no access to washing facilities, the toilet facilities, the shower facilities. Literally they want £40 per person for 2 nights minimum to basically stay in a field with no views. Basically they want you to pay for wild camping. And I just thought, nah, if I'm going to go to a campsite I want to make use of the nice facilities and stuff. If you want to use the toilet, which most of us kind of want to use the toilet, they want you to pay £40 to hire a portaloo. So what's it? We're looking at 120 quid and we'd have to stay 2 nights anyway. So I just went to Luke, nah, forget it, I am wild camping. But I'm sure it's a really nice campsite. Once things are back to normal it's probably absolutely blinding, but at the moment it just seems very expensive for very little. So anyways, just to clear that up, we're not camping there. We're going to press on and find somewhere to wild camp, of course.
If you build it, they will come.
We've just arrived at St Mary's church ruins at Eastwell, and while it's not part of the Eastwell Park estate, it's actually out of their boundary, like literally just outside of it. The church is kind of surrounded on all sides. There's like this house with a private lake. The house overlooks the graveyard. The front of the church here is overlooked by this road, which is the access track to get onto Eastwell Park estate. And there's a couple of women there sat there talking at the moment, and they haven't got a car, so it looks like they're not going anytime soon. So this could be a little bit of a dilemma. Don't worry, we will be back there to show you some more of the church and the history of it, there is a little building actually, or part of the church, that's undercover that you can go in, like a separate little room, and we could chuck the bivvies down in there, but it would be literally an uber stealth camp. We would have to keep so quiet and keep our lights and head torches like to an absolute minimum. So I thought the house was a bit further away. I've actually been to this church before. I've done a little video with Candy, so I'll put that up here as well. Two women have left the church ruins now, so we only walked a short way down this road to look for other potential spots, and it's all fenced off. There's no chance of anything, so we're going to head back into the church, and we're not going to set anything up just yet. We're just going to wait for it to get dark before we do that, and I think we might have to sleep in that little building because that is the only out of sight spot there is. We'll have a drink, cook some food, things like that. If for whatever reason we do get moved on, we've got head torches, we can always get to Y. It's not that far really. We could walk it. We'd be walking in the dark, but we'll see. Hopefully that's not going to happen though.
Hopefully not, but that's all part of the fun, I suppose.
It is, exactly. It's an adventure. So we'll see.
It's like Frodo and Samwise
Gamgee. Yeah, so look, there's the church, and then the house is literally through the trees there. This is going to be dicey. So, and then the road to Eastwell Park estate is there, and then the private lake is there, that's part of that house. Do you see my problem? Okay, apologies for the lighting. We don't really want to have any lights on at all. We're sat in the graveyard of the church ruins, and we've got a stove going. I'll just sort of switch the light out, apologies. This is like uber stealth camping. Just in the middle of the screen there, that is a house. My little alcohol stove, one of the ones Hambo gave me, that is cooking down there. It's making no noise. Hopefully the light is out of sight. Just doing a tea. We're kind of unsure about whether we're actually going to camp here or not. We're going to try, and if we get spotted or moved on, then I think what we're planning on doing is just night hiking to Y, which is not that far, probably what, 2 miles?
Yeah, about that.
Probably about 2 miles, and of course one of the cars is there. My aim from the start of the North Downs Way was to try and wild camp on every single section, so I'm going to try and do that. That's the stealthiest chicken meatballs in gravy ever cooked. I'm using this, it's like a little through night TI3. Luke, could you quickly shine your head torch? Oh no, there we go. There we go. It's like a little key ring light that I've got, because my head torch is so bright, whereas this has got like really low settings on it, but it's enough to see and work by. So yeah, we've got Frey Bentos chicken meatballs in gravy, and then over here we've got a stealth cider, Rosie's pig, rhubarb, cloudy cider. Cheers Hambo for that one. Got a cup of tea somewhere. Oh, it's here. That's not just any cup of tea though. That's a stealth cup of tea. The plot thickens. There are cars literally the other side of the church with headlights on. We don't know what they're doing, but they've been sat there for near on 5 minutes now. I don't know if they're turning round, whether they're lost. And Luke is now considering saying let's push on and either look for somewhere else along the path, or we just go to Y and not camp. But we could backtrack about, he says a mile, I reckon it's nearer 2 miles,
to Westwell Downs, and there's a really good spot that I saw just off of the path in the woodland. That's his phone. It's not a stealthy phone. And yeah, there was a nice flat spot just inside the tree line, out of sight of the path, but it means backtracking for about a mile to 2 miles. We could do it in probably an hour, or an hour or less. I kind of think probably backtracking to Westwell Downs would probably be, that is the smartest option. We still get a wild camp. We're not going to be filming, of course, walking back to there, and we wouldn't need to film tomorrow morning to get back to here. Yeah, basically, so we're actually planning our video as I'm filming this, so this is like real life, and this is what you have to do as a wild camping YouTuber. Yeah, basically, yeah, we won't film until we get back to Westwell Downs, and then in the morning we'll walk back to this spot, and then we'll start filming from there, something like that. I don't know, we're literally winging it now. This is unplanned. This car's still there, so we don't know who they are. They could be kids coming to have a smoke or something here, I don't know, but they're not moving, so whatever it is, I don't think we're going to be staying here. No, look, I want to try and wild camp.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I definitely want to try and wild camp, but I don't think we're going to be able to camp at this church ruins. We'll come back and we'll film more of it. You still got to have a sense of humour, see. Anyways, whatever it is, I don't think we're going to be staying here. Can you imagine if you just then appeared right next to me in the camera? Anyways. And then suddenly the light goes out. And we've made the executive decision to pack up and wait for it. Backtrack to Westwell Downs. The wild camp is still on. We will wild camp on every section of the North Downs Way for the win. Yeah, so we've got between a mile and 2 miles of backtracking. Not ideal, but yeah, it's kind of common sense really. I kind of thought, what would you lot do? You'd most likely backtrack. Some of you would probably throw the towel in, no offence. Right, so everything's packed away. We're leaving absolutely no trace.
We've even taken rubbish that was already here.
Yeah, we have. We picked up a couple of bits. Enough talking, and let's get walking again. It's 20 to 11, so it took us just over an hour to walk back to kind of the edge of Westwell Downs, and we're, I don't know, probably 20-30 metres from the North Downs Way, but we're up on sort of a ridge, so you can't actually see us from the footpath, up on this sort of flat bit of ground in the woods. You're not going to be able to see much tonight, so what we're going to do is get the shelters set up. I'll show you them. Got another cider to show you as well that I've not had before. I'm probably going to do a hot drink, have maybe a snack bar, and save the rest of my water for breakfast and for the walk tomorrow. So basically we've added 2 hours extra onto this because we've walked back it and then we've got to walk it back again to the church. So it's not ideal really, but it is what it is. At least we've got the camp. So right, I don't know what time it is. It's probably gone 11 PM.
Time check.
Go on, time check.
20 to 12.
It's 20 to 12 and we've got everything set up. Got the Rab Ridge Raider hoop bivvy pitched, and we don't really need the scrim netting, but I thought I'm going to make use of it because I've carried it. Not that it weighed a lot, but it's I suppose takes up a bit of space. I thought let's just use it. So I've put one section of it over the bivvy, and then just there is a
bag of another load of it, and I'm gonna, once I've zipped the front of the bivvy up, once I'm in it, well, before I get in it, I suppose I'm gonna just drape a bit over the guy lines over the front here. And there's one of the little alcohol stoves with the carbon felt in that Hambo gave me, and the stand. And then Luke's set up is just through here. I lent him a bit of scrim netting as well, and he's got the OEX Expedition tarp in green, same one as mine. He's got that blue Rab Survival Zone bivvy that I sold him. Yeah, that's about all that's happening really. We're tucked away here.
So is that beetle, isn't it?
Massive beetle down there. Yeah, it's like Call the Wild here at the moment. All the nightlife's coming out. Lots of earwigs, lots of moths. Those big black beetles. Okay, it's time for our special cider tonight. Seeing as we're in Kent, I've bought this bottle of Kent Cider Company blend number 23. I think I got it at either Richborough Roman Fort and Amphitheatre, which is in Sandwich, Kent, or I picked it up at St Augustine's Abbey ruins, which is in Canterbury. So yeah, it's as Kent as they come. It's 6%. I forgot that it was actually quite a strong one. Anyway, at Kent Cider Company HQ, we use the finest apples and traditional cider making methods to create our rustic yet refined range of contemporary craft ciders. Tasting notes. Blend 23. Blend 23 is crafted for the modern cider drinker. Using a blend of apples unique to the Kent Cider Company, this dark and fruity, medium sweet still cider is our festival favourite. We're near the woods where you're not allowed to have a rave. There was a sign back at Westwell Downs that said they don't allow camping, fires, raves, quote unquote, or other gatherings. So this is suitable really. This is for the Glastonbury set. All the fly campers out there leaving their crap everywhere. Anyways, right, let's crack this one open. Cheers everyone. Cheers to the new subscribers as well, and the old ones. It's much appreciated. Oh, it's got a strong smell to it. Richard would probably like this. He'd probably be flat out after a couple of these. Likes a strong cider. Right, anyways, Luke, do you want some of this in your mug?
Yeah. Oh. Give it a go.
Yeah?
Yes.
We'll have a bit more for luck. There you go.
Thanks.
Right. Anyways, right, we're going to try this together. Oh. Cheers, everyone.
Smells nice. Smells really apple-y.
Oh, that's strong. It's definitely flat, as it said. The initial taste was not overly strong. There's a slight sharpness to it, but it's relatively smooth. It's not bad. I couldn't drink a lot of those.
No, it's a one bottle.
It's a one bottle, and it's a sipper. It's not a glugger. It's not like some of my like tarty 4% fruit ciders that you can just neck. 6% this one.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's not bad. Like I've said before, if you want a cider to taste like a cider, i.e. like a relatively strong cider, then this is probably the one for you. I'm probably going to give it probably the same number as the percentage. 6 out of 10, maybe a little bit higher. I'll give it 6.5 out of 10 there. That'll do.
I agree with you on that.
You reckon it's a 6.5, yeah?
Yeah. I think it would taste better if it was red hot this evening.
What do you mean? What, if it was boiling hot?
Like boiling hot weather, like a really hot night.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this, once again, this is the sort of cider that would be best served over ice. You can't drink it like normally, sort of thing. It has to be over ice in a pub, and it'd probably be alright, i.e. watered down a little bit. But that's your cider for the night. Apologies about this awful lighting. There we go. Cheers everyone. So it's gone midnight now. I'm in the Rab Ridge Raider hoop bivvy. There's more space in here than it looks, trust me. It's a surprisingly spacious little hoop bivvy. We're not planning on getting up particularly early. I'll probably set an alarm for, I don't know, about 7:30, something like that. Just want to get a good night's sleep, really. Sort of tired after sort of having to re-walk that hour section and stuff, and yeah, we're not in a rush to get out of here. We're in a pretty secluded little spot despite being really close to the path, and the shelters are probably the lowest profile and stealthiest I've probably ever done, really, so I think we'll be absolutely fine here. Anyways, I'm just looking forward to getting some sleep, really. I'm absolutely shattered. Gonna get some sleep, some much needed sleep, so enough yawning, and I'll see you in the morning. We slept very well. My climate short mat did deflate in the night. I reinflated it, and about probably 3 hours later it had deflated quite a lot again. I'm having a lot of bad luck with inflatable mats at the moment. I found ones that are comfy for me and fit the weight criteria, but they seem to be deflating after a few uses, which is annoying. So I'm gonna have to speak to Climate about that, because I actually bought it directly from them. I think it might have been a refurbished one, but doesn't matter either way. It still shouldn't be doing that after only a few months of use. So apart from that though, I slept really well. Was on a little bit of a slope, but it didn't really bother me much, and I just slept like a log. I obviously needed the sleep. So down there, that's the North Downs way. We've heard a few people going past, but they can't see us from up here. So we're on the North Downs way footpath, and I think it's Pilgrim's Way as well. We're up there somewhere. You can see Luke, so you can see us when we stand up, but like sitting down, there he is. He's up there, but you can't actually see our shelters. You can't even see his tarp from up here, from down here rather. You definitely can't see my hooped bivvy. This is the exact spot we found in the dark somehow, that I'd said to Luke, oh, this would be a good place to camp rather than the church, and we pressed on, ignoring that, and I climbed up this bank here. In fact, it was this exact bank, and when there's someone coming along, and went, that would be a good spot, and he went, oh no, I don't know about that. So there you go, worked out. And then I climbed up there, perfect. Anyways, I'll take you back into camp to show you how stealth it was, apart from when we stand up. So as long as we sit down or lay down, we're okay. Here we are. Hang on, I have to duck under these trees. Oh. And there we go. Now of course you can see Luke's tarp. He didn't even know he'd set it up behind this, which protected him even more from sight. And then this is my setup, the Rab Ridge Raider hoop bivvy, but full camo. We didn't really need this, but I just figured, you know what, I'm going to use it, I'm going to try it out and experiment with it for future situations where I would need it. But I tell you what, it is brilliant. It works so well on this bivvy. It's almost like it was designed for this. I'm really pleased with that. The white Tyvek, that's the only thing that sort of sticks out a bit, but I'm going to try and make my own Tyvek footprint for this hooped bivvy. So there won't be any overlapping material. We're all packed up, leaving absolutely no trace. Don't be a tosser, remember that. Kicked all the leaves over, all the rubbish is in that bag in the back of my rucksack. Luke's packed up, he's not a tosser either, he's left no trace. We are going to go and sit literally a few metres away on like the concrete cylinders at the entrance to Westwell Downs, like literally right on the North Downs way, and have breakfast there. Yeah, it was worth walking an hour back for, rather than continuing the walk and finishing, you know, the section at Wine and not getting to camp. So I'm pleased with that, really. It was worth it. It's determination and stubbornness on my part, I think. I will wild camp on every section of the North Downs way, even if it means backtracking an hour and then adding on 2 hours total. So we've finished breakfast. We're still sat by the entrance to Westwell Downs, literally a few metres from where we camped last night. I've made 2 sachets of coffee in one big pot. Had a couple of protein bars, Rice Krispie square thing, they're amazing, they are, and a couple of little energy bars. That's about it. A very basic breakfast for me this morning. Eat a couple more snacks later on, really. Just want to sort of smash out the miles and get it finished now. We've got our drinks sorted out. I've got some Gatorade left. I've got like one of those High Five citrus, pretty strong caffeine energy drink powders in there. So I think the best thing to do is bring you back once we've arrived back at the church ruins at St Mary's Eastwell, because the next hour is just what you've seen already before. It's going to be the 3rd time us walking that bit, so it's not ideal, but it is what it is. It's all worked out. We got to camp in the end. Welcome back, everyone. We are back at St Mary's church ruins here in Eastwell. That took us about 50 minutes to get here. Very busy today, a lot more people out. It is a Sunday. I'm definitely glad that we backtracked. We went back to Westwell Downs, camped there. It wasn't really that far when you think about it, and I think just trying to camp here was just too risky. I mean, we had, like I say, that house there, like literally overlooking the graveyard. We had the road other side of the wall, and then there's like a footpath and the estate road over there, and it just wasn't happening. And then of course you've got the private lake down there as well, which is part of that house. Like, stealth camping would be very difficult. The place where I did think we could have camped, and I'm going to show you this now that it's in the daylight, it is in this little room here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a lady chapel or something like that. This gate's always unlocked, and I thought we could have bivvied down in here. You can't really see because my bag's in the way, but we would have been out of any bad weather. Let's see if we can change that camera angle. There we go, that's much better. See, would have been cosy in here. Could have just swept the floor a little bit and thrown the bivvies down. I'm going to show you the church, tell you a little bit about its history, but if you want to learn more and have a more detailed kind of account of it, then somewhere up here there'll be a link to that video that I did with Candice a while back now here. St Mary's Church at Eastwell has lain derelict for 6 decades. The nearby lake was constructed in the 1840s, and it's thought that the chalk blocks used for building the church
were adversely affected by seepage from the lake. During the Second World War, the Eastwell estate was used for tank manoeuvres, and it seems likely that these weakened the structure still further, to the point where the roof collapsed in 1951 and most of the rest was demolished in 1956.
Of all the graves in the churchyard ruins here at St Mary's Eastwell, this has got to be my favourite, and probably everyone's favourite. This is reputedly the resting place of Richard III's illegitimate son.
A tomb on the east side of the churchyard is thought to be that of Richard, last of the Plantagenets, who died in 1550. He was a bastard son of King Richard III and worked as a craftsman in the neighbourhood after the royal lineage of that name was wiped out by the King's death at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. The church is still consecrated and has been designated a Grade II listed building under the care of the charity Friends of Friendless Churches. If you think the church is spooky, be aware that it is said by some to be haunted by the ghost of a monk. Eastwell Park consists of a grand mansion and its surrounding land, which today includes a farm, a hotel and the modern mansion that we see when entering the park. The original house, out of sight behind the hotel, was built in the mid-16th century by Richard de Eastwell, who is believed to have been a son of King Richard III. This was replaced by a larger house built in 1799 for the Earl of Winchelsea. One of his successors got into financial difficulties, and from 1874 to 1893 the house was rented by the then Duke of Edinburgh, second son of Queen Victoria, and his wife, who had been a Grand Duchess of Russia. Their daughter, Princess Marie, was born here in 1875 and became Queen of Romania by marriage. By all accounts, she seems to have led a colourful life, which involved several extramarital affairs and pregnancies, and serving as a Red Cross nurse during the First World War. She died in 1938. The Grand Randonnée waymark that appears on a North Downs Way signpost in Eastwell Park is an oddity, as it appears on no other signs along the route. Indeed, it may be the only such waymark in Britain. Grand Randonnée, generally abbreviated to GR, is the French term for a long-distance walking route, and a formidable network of them extends throughout France. Although the North Downs Way is part of Euro Route E2 at this point, it is not part of a GR. Boughton Lees is the public face of the parish of Boughton Aloof, as it jauntily straddles the A251 Ashford to Faversham road around a large village green where cricket is played in summer, watched by patrons of the Flying Horse pub. Although Boughton Lees has a chapel, the parish church is at Boughton Aloof, a mile or so to the north-east, which we will pass if we have decided to follow the Canterbury loop of the North Downs Way.
It's 1:30. We've arrived in a lovely village, Boughton Aloof and Eastwell it's called, and we're outside the Flying Horse pub, and it's time for a spot of lunch. I think we're going to stop in here for a bit. Luke's in there straight away, so you know what it's time for. Hi ho, it's off to the pub we go. We're in the beer garden of the Flying Horse pub. It turns out, cheers, Old Moot kiwi and lime cider, and you've got a,
Well, you wouldn't want a warm one, would you?
it's a Foster's, isn't it?
Yeah, blowing the froth off of a cold one.
Anyways, it turns out the pub is like a kind of a burger kitchen. Like, they specialise in burgers. There is every type of burger under the sun in this place.
Maple syrup was one.
There was a maple syrup one.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of things. So Luke has gone for, on the menu, because there are so many burgers, he's gone for burger roulette, which is where if you can't decide, they pick one for you. So he's got that, And then, what did you say to her? You went, except not the spicy
I don't want
one.
the spicy one.
And
And then I went, no, go on, put it in there.
After I went,
So
yeah,
now I reckon I'm going to get stitched up and have the spicy one.
yeah, because I went, that's not burger roulette then, is it? That's, you've got to, you're not playing the game, son. Anyway, I've gone for the vintage, which is, because I'm a fussy eater, I've just gone with double streaky bacon, double cheese, made it large, so I've got an extra burger in there.
It was though. Was it just cheddar?
Shit, yeah, that's true. It'd better be cheddar. If it's like blue cheese, then like, I'm out.
Best.
Nah. Anyway, but I've made it a large, so I've got an extra burger in it. It comes with thick cut chips and homemade coleslaw. Not a fan of coleslaw, so he's having my coleslaw as well. The food has arrived, so I've gone for the double up, so I get an extra burger in mine. And I've just gone, like I said, for just cheese and streaky bacon, hand cut chips, and then Luke went for the burger roulette, so they picked it for him. And what is it, a black and blue?
Black and blue.
So it's like
So it'd be
blue
blue
cheese
cheese
and stuff, yeah. Looks amazing. It'd be rude not to have dessert as well, so I've got a toffee and honeycomb cheesecake. I can't even remember what I ordered. And then Luke has got a lemon meringue pie.
Delicious.
That looks amazing. We've left the Flying Horse pub after an amazing lunch. That toffee and honeycomb cheesecake was on point. The burger was amazing as well. I feel satisfied. Snug, I would say. Snug, not stuffed, but snug. Enough talking, let's get walking. Right, this is a really important part of the North Downs Way. This is where it splits, so you can do the mainline route, which goes that way, or you can do the Canterbury loop, which goes that way. We are of course doing the mainline route via Folkestone to Dover, and that's 25 miles away, and the Canterbury loop is 30 miles getting to Dover via Canterbury that way. And from Farnham it's 98 miles, so I've walked just under 100 miles so far. That's pretty cool. Once we have done the mainline route, the 25 miles to Dover via Folkestone, we're then going to do a multiple day trip starting from Boughton Lees, or whatever it's called, Boughton Lees, and we'll be starting it from here following the Canterbury loop of 30 miles. So that's pretty cool, an important part of the journey. Do you know why I love apples? Because apples make cider. The large village of Wye, population about 2,500, was once an important market town, occupying a strategic position where a branch of the Pilgrim's Way forded the River Great Stour. Then the construction of a turnpike road on the far side of the river during the 18th century resulted in traffic bypassing Wye, and the old market fizzled out. However, a farmers' market now takes place on the first and third Saturday mornings of the month around the green.
The arrival of the South Eastern Railway line from Tonbridge to Canterbury and Margate in 1846, and the more recent growth of Ashford as a trading centre have resulted in Wye becoming a commuter settlement. For 125 years, from 1849 to 1974, Wye was famous for its racecourse, located a little to the southwest, but it was only a mile in circuit and never achieved much success.
Welcome back everybody, we've made it to the village of Wye and we're outside the parish church. My car is parked just a short distance away in the free overnight car park. Went to Wye a little while ago now, I think it might have been last year, with Candice, Mark from First Class Adventures and my mate Matt who lives in Kent as well. And we wild camped up on top of Wye Crown, quite bad weather actually, and we did a little circular walk around the area as well, and we had a really nice calf breakfast as well in a nearby calf, which I can highly recommend. So this is all about some good memories, this place. So of course the next section is going to be Wye to Etching Hill, and we're going to try and wild camp again up on top of Wye Crown. So right near the start there's going to be a really steep section out of Wye up to the ridge, and then we'll camp up there and then we'll finish off the rest of the route the next day. That is the plan anyway. It was good. I want to say a big thank you to Luke from the Real Travelling Amigos for joining me again.
Thank you too, mate.
Always a pleasure, never a chore. Of course, please check out and subscribe to his channel as well, and he is filming all of our sections of the North Downs Way as well, so definitely check them out.
Get my point of view on everything as well.
Exactly. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe everyone, look after each other. See you again soon.
Adios.
Bye. Cheers everyone.